to come into the dressing room while she was breastfeeding. And then part of the complaint was that he came into the dressing room while I was breastfeeding. Like, you literally have a text exchange back and forth. They just never thought that anybody was going to come out with the receipts.
Because no one's ever done it, because everyone usually just bows down.
Because everyone's scared.
What if I told you that Ryan Reynolds just blew up one of the biggest courtroom victories Hollywood has ever seen? What if I told you that Blake Lively's $400 million win might have been built on lies? And what if I told you the judge literally walked out of court in the middle of it all? Yeah, this is not a movie. This is real. Ryan Reynolds just shattered the illusion. And Hollywood is on fire. Stick around because what you're about to hear, it's the scandal no one saw coming. Let's rewind for a second and unpack exactly how this madness unfolded. It all went down on June 26th, during what was supposed to be just another routine courtroom session. The media was buzzing outside, lawyers were prepped, the public was watching. But no one, and I mean no one, expected what happened next.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds didn't attend the Met Gala, but were they rejected from it? Also, sad news, Justin Baldoni's foundation is shutting down.
In the middle of the hearing, Judge Lehman, the man presiding over this entire $400 million legal showdown, stood up. No warning, no explanation, no deliberation break. He just walked out. The courtroom froze. You could hear a pin drop. And instantly the rumors started swirling. Everyone's first assumption? Corruption. People thought maybe Judge Lehman was dirty, that Blake Lively, Hollywood royalty herself, had him in her pocket. I mean, let's be honest. Celebrity influence in court isn't unheard of. The whispers got louder. She paid him off. That's why Baldoni's case never stood a chance. But the truth? Oh, it was so much darker. Because turns out Judge Lehman wasn't the shady one. The real twist came from much closer to home. Blake's own husband.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are seeking further legal protection. The couple's legal team files a letter with the court January 21st requesting a gag order for Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman.
Ryan Reynolds, the man known for his sarcasm, his charm, his picture-perfect marriage with Blake, accidentally let something slip. Something that changed the entire trajectory of this case. He revealed, maybe unintentionally, maybe on purpose, that Blake Lively herself had allegedly bribed a key witness in the case. Yeah, Blake, his wife, the same woman everyone saw as the victim in this mess. And suddenly, the entire legal narrative flipped upside down. That airtight affidavit, the one that was the backbone of Blake's courtroom victory, the document that Judge Lehman had cited over 10 times to dismiss Justin Baldoni's massive lawsuit, turns out that affidavit was a total fabrication. Not just a legal technicality, not just sloppy paperwork. A deliberate, weaponized lie designed to shut down Baldoni's case before it ever stood a chance. And now, that once solid victory Blake and her legal team were celebrating, it's crumbling. Fast.
You're probably doing that Hollywood thing where everybody else is just there for you.
The case is unraveling from the inside, reputations are on the line, and the Hollywood facade of Blake and Ryan's seemingly perfect life, it's cracking wide open. And this was just the beginning. Let me take you back to what happened the day before. June 25th, when Ryan Reynolds took matters into his own hands and turned Instagram into a battleground. This wasn't some cryptic post with hidden meanings. This wasn't one of those vague celebrity subtweets or passive-aggressive interviews. Ryan Reynolds went nuclear. He blew up Instagram with a series of posts so explosive, so direct, that the entire entertainment industry was left scrambling to pick up the pieces. He wasn't venting out of frustration. He wasn't dropping subtle clues for people to interpret. He was exposing the truth, plain and simple.
It's really interesting. A lot of them are just not looking at him at all, even though he's standing and spraying. That's really interesting.
First, he unleashed timestamps, pinning down the exact moments when critical decisions were made behind closed doors. Then came the leaked emails, private conversations between media executives, lawyers, and key players. Conversations that revealed a web of manipulation so calculated, it could have been scripted for a political thriller. And if that wasn't enough, Ryan even shared confidential legal documents. Documents that, up until that point, had been hidden behind courtroom doors and NDAs. It wasn't reckless, it wasn't emotional, it was brutal, it was surgical. Every post, every screenshot, every piece of evidence was methodically chosen to dismantle the narrative surrounding Blake's legal win. And at the center of his exposé was one chilling sentence that's still echoing across Hollywood. The truth needs to come out, no matter the cost. And suddenly, the illusion shattered.
Did Ryan Reynolds ditch Blake Lively at the premiere of Another Simple Favor to save his own career?
That $400 million courtroom victory Blake Lively's team had been parading as a masterclass in legal strategy? It didn't look so flawless anymore. Instead, it reeked of something far more sinister: manipulation, deceit, and a carefully orchestrated cover-up. The cracks in their picture-perfect marriage, the cracks in her courtroom defense, the cracks in their public image, all exposed, one Instagram post at a time. And this was just the first blow. The real fallout, it was only beginning. All right, now let's zoom in on the man at the center of this entire mess, James Vitusa. For those of you who don't know, Vitusa isn't just some random journalist. He's a Daily Mail reporter, a key player in one of the biggest legal scandals Hollywood's seen in years. And whether he wanted to be or not, he became the domino that could topple Blake Lively's entire legal defense.
I occasionally work with a group called Pacific Wild and a guy named Ian McAllister who runs Pacific Wild, and I just love everything they do up there. So my hope is to go up there and get a distant look at a spirit bear.
See, it was Vitusa's affidavit, the sworn legal statement, that absolutely crushed Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit against Blake. That single document wasn't just another piece of paperwork, it became the foundation of Blake's courtroom victory. The affidavit painted Baldoni as the aggressor, a man making baseless accusations. It flipped the narrative entirely, casting Blake's longtime publicist, Leslie Sloan, as an innocent bystander. The PR machine spun into overdrive and the public bought the story. For a while. But inside that courtroom, it was Judge Lehman who leaned hardest on that affidavit. He didn't just glance at it, he cited it over 10 times when dismissing Baldoni's case. It was treated like rock-solid truth, the keystone holding Blake's defense together. But here's the part that makes your jaw drop. Without that affidavit, Blake's so-called victory crumbles like a house of cards. And this is where Ryan Reynolds comes in swinging. Because during his explosive Instagram expose, Ryan revealed the one thing that flipped everything upside down. James Vitusa didn't sign that affidavit willingly. According to Ryan's leaked evidence, Vitusa was backed into a corner, coerced, pressured, allegedly threatened by higher-ups at the Daily Mail, all to sign a document he knew wasn't telling the full truth. Think about that for a second.
So this is how you can destroy someone's reputation without any due process.
The piece of evidence Judge Lehman based his entire ruling on? It wasn't just flawed. It was built on a foundation of intimidation, manipulation, and possibly outright corruption. Ryan's leaks, the emails, the texts, the receipts showed how deep the rot goes. This wasn't some courtroom technicality. It was a web of backroom deals, media pressure, and legal spin, all designed to protect Blake's image and silence Baldoni's claims. And now, the truth is bubbling to the surface. The carefully crafted facade Blake's legal team constructed is cracking. And it all traces back to one reporter, one affidavit, and one very public whistleblower, Ryan Reynolds. Now, make no mistake, this wasn't some impulsive, emotional meltdown from Ryan Reynolds. It wasn't the heat of the moment. It wasn't a celebrity cracking under pressure. Insiders close to the situation say Ryan had been stewing for months, caught in the ultimate personal and moral dilemma. On one hand, loyalty to his wife, Blake Lively, the woman he's built a public empire with. On the other, a growing, gnawing sense of disgust over what he claims he was witnessing unfold behind the scenes. He stayed quiet for as long as he could. But day after day, leak after leak, legal maneuver after shady legal maneuver, the cracks started showing. And then, June 24th, the breaking point. Ryan had had enough. That's when he made the decision to go nuclear. No PR team, no media filter, no backroom negotiations. He leaked a trove of private text messages, the kind of messages that were never meant to see the light of day. Messages exposing the Daily Mail's alleged involvement in this entire mess. Messages revealing exactly how deep the manipulation went. And the most damning of all, a chilling text from James Vitusa himself, the man whose affidavit propped up Blake's defense, where he admitted the pressure was unbearable. Think about that. The so-called independent witness, admitting in his own words that he was pushed to the brink. And Ryan? He didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't spin it. He posted to millions of followers, "I couldn't stand by and watch lies destroy someone's life." And with that single post, the dam burst wide open. Hollywood's picture-perfect couple? Shattered. The courtroom victory? Crumbling. The media circus? Just getting started. And Ryan Reynolds? He wasn't backing down, not this time. Then came the moment no one saw coming. June 25th, the day James Vitusa finally snapped.
Yeah. Because Ryan Reynolds A-list, Blake Lively A-list, like they're the queens.
That's like eating.
The same reporter who had been quietly holding the weight of this scandal on his shoulders, the man whose affidavit had helped crush Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit, decided he wasn't going to be the fall guy anymore. Vitusa lawyered up, and not with just any attorney. He hired one of the most feared, high-profile criminal defense lawyers in the business. A clear signal that this wasn't going to be swept under the rug. And then, he went public. No more anonymous whispers. No more behind-the-scenes speculation. James Vatusa stepped into the spotlight. And what he revealed? It sent shockwaves through Hollywood. In a bold public statement, Vatusa claimed he was threatened, manipulated, and ultimately abandoned by his own employer, the Daily Mail, when the truth started creeping out. This wasn't just journalistic pressure. According to him, it was a calculated campaign to coerce him into signing a legal document he knew wasn't truthful. The affidavit? The same one Judge Lehman had leaned on to dismiss Baldoni's lawsuit? It wasn't just shaky. It was completely tainted from the start. And without that affidavit, Blake Lively's entire courtroom victory doesn't just wobble. It collapses. Vatusa's confession cracked the case wide open. Suddenly, Baldoni's legal team had ammunition. Real ammunition. They didn't waste a second. They've already filed to reopen the case, armed with new evidence and a renewed mission to tear apart the narrative Blake's team spent months building. And now? The question isn't whether Baldoni's original claims were baseless. The real question is far more chilling. Were his claims buried under an avalanche of lies? And if they were, this legal drama is about to explode into something far bigger and far more dangerous than anyone expected. And then came June 26th. In the middle of a tense courtroom session, Judge Lehman heard Ryan's new evidence and Vatusa's public retraction. He didn't ask for a break. He didn't call for order. He just walked out, gone. Blake's lawyers looked like they'd seen a ghost. Baldoni's team immediately called it a win for justice. The entire courtroom erupted. Was the judge overwhelmed? Was he panicking? Or was he just realizing he'd been played? Legal experts say his exit wasn't just dramatic. It could hint at a total collapse of Blake's defense. Blake's once untouchable image? It's in shambles. Her publicist, Leslie Sloan, is now under fire for allegedly orchestrating a smear campaign against Baldoni.
In the docs obtained by E! News, Blake's legal team alleges that, quote, virtually every day since the actress filed her civil rights complaint back in December, Mr. Friedman has given television interviews, appeared on podcasts, issued inflammatory written statements, and leaked information to the Hollywood press.
Ryan's decision to blow the whistle? Some say he's distancing himself to save his career. Others say he's finally doing the right thing. Either way, he's not backing down. The hashtags are trending. On justice for Baldoni, Daily Mail lies, the Blake scandal, and Hollywood is watching closely. But just when you thought it couldn't get worse, enter Vanzon. Allegedly a shell company tied to Blake and Ryan, used to dig up private messages that became key evidence against Baldoni. If this is true, that evidence could be thrown out. It could even be illegal. What once looked like smart lawyering now looks like shady tactics. And Vanzon, people aren't whispering anymore, they're shouting. This could sink Blake's defense from multiple angles. Did Ryan know about Vanzon? Was he involved all along? Or is this his desperate escape from the storm? Some say Ryan's leaks are calculated moves to protect his reputation. Others believe he's genuinely fed up and risking everything to tell the truth. Either way, his whistleblower moment just added a whole new layer of chaos. Hollywood is now divided. Team Blake or Team Ryan? Hero or traitor? And then there's the big question. Is their marriage over? The divorce rumors are swirling. Their picture-perfect image? Cracking fast. Blake's team is scrambling, calling the allegations baseless and vindictive. But public opinion? It's shifting hard. Blake's reputation is on life support. Baldoni's team has filed an appeal claiming fraud in the original dismissal. If the court reopens the case, Blake's team will have to explain. The affidavit. The Vanzon scandal. The Daily Mail's involvement. And Ryan? He's caught in the middle. Will he be the hero who exposed it all? Or will he go down with the ship? This isn't just a legal battle anymore, it's a full-blown Hollywood saga. And it's far from over. Will Baldoni get his day in court? Will Blake's defense collapse? And will Ryan's risky decision save him or destroy him? One thing's for sure, the next twist could blow the whole thing wide open. Subscribe, stay tuned. Because this scandal is just heating up.